So Brian Stelter of CNN spoke about Donald Trump's most recent anti-media Twitter rant, and he made an argument that I found pretty frustrating. Let's watch, and then I'll explain why.
Consider the timing of the U.S. president's latest anti-CNN tweet last night. On the same day, the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, signed this into law.
Russia is responding to Washington's requirements that Russian broadcaster RT register as a foreign agent. Russia's Sputnik news service reports that President Vladimir Putin has signed a law allowing authorities there to list foreign media outlets as foreign agents.
Okay, so what's going on here? That's the report from CNN International. Basically, this law in Russia is the precursor to regulating news outlets that are based in other countries. So what that means is that the U.S. government-funded outlets like Voice of America will probably have to register in Russia as foreign agents, the same way Russia Today had to register that way in Washington. Now, outlets like CNN that are not government-funded but are based in the U.S. are also likely to be targeted by Russia. Within a few hours of that decision by the Russian president, U.S. President Trump singled out CNN as fake news. Quote, Fox News is so much more important in the United States than CNN. But outside of the U.S., CNN International is still a major source of, parentheses, fake news. And they represent our nation to the world very poorly. The outside world does not see the truth from them. CNN responded, it's not CNN's job to represent the U.S. to the world. That's your job. Our job is to report the news. Hashtag facts first. Now, some observers said they felt this was Trump's way of telling Putin, make sure you crack down on CNN International. Or maybe it was just a complete coincidence. But either way, Trump's tweet reads like an invitation to undemocratic regimes around the world to harass CNN journalists with the blessing of the U.S. president. Is this presidential? No. Is it petty? Definitely.
So what annoys me about that is whenever there's something that's said against them as an institution, they are so quick to play defense. And to be clear, of course you should play defense. The fucking president of the United States should not be doing tweets against the media. Because, yes, if you're serious as a president, you speak about how we have the First Amendment, we have free speech, we have free expression, we have a free press. And even if I don't like these different media outlets, no, there will be no threats from the authorities. Whereas Trump has done the opposite. You know, he threatened to de-license news organizations that do stories he doesn't like. By the way, you can't even do that. That's clearly against the First Amendment, but he doesn't know the first fucking thing about the Constitution of the First Amendment. That's why he randomly was tweeting, months ago about we should burn flag burning, as if there wasn't already a Supreme Court case over this, and as if even far right-wingers like Antonin Scalia didn't go, yeah, even if I don't like the flag burning, of course it's constitutionally allowed. So, yes, Trump, of course, should not be tweeting against the media, and it's horrific, and it shows that he's a petty authoritarian when he does do stuff like that. But why doesn't CNN be consistent on this fucking issue? So everybody knows, everybody who pays attention fucking knows exactly why Vladimir Putin did what he did. Because the U.S. did it first. The U.S. said, RT America, you're going to have to register as a foreign agent. Now you might go, well, Kyle, come on, they might be doing Russian government propaganda, so why wouldn't you have them register as a foreign agent? Well, number one, that was used for literal Nazi propaganda in the U.S. Okay, that's what the original inception of that was for. Like, okay, you got to register as a foreign agent if you're spewing fucking Nazi propaganda. But furthermore, okay, does Al Jazeera have to register like that in the U.S.? Does BBC have to register like that? Does any other news outlet that has foreign funding have to register like that? No, they just Russia. So in other words, there is no standard. We're not even going to pretend there's a standard. We are going to single out one because of the current political climate, and we're going to say you guys have to register as a foreign agent. Okay, so then Vladimir Putin goes, all right, well, now American media here we're going to make you register as a foreign agent. But now everybody clutches their pearls like, oh, what an authoritarian. Well, was it authoritarian when we decided, hey, RT has to register as a foreign agent? Was that authoritarian? Because if you say no to that, but yes to when Putin does it, you're a fucking idiot, because he's doing the same goddamn thing. And CNN is like, oh, Trump is saying things that are against us. Well, why weren't you screaming from the rooftops when the U.S. government said we're going to make RT register as a foreign agent? Why weren't you saying, look, man, I might not even agree with RT, but we have free speech, we have a free press. This is clearly a direct crackdown on one media outlet with foreign funding, not even all media outlets with foreign funding, so it's not consistent. So in other words, it's only when it affects you guys that you care, Brian Stelter and CNN. It's only when it affects you guys. Where were you on Edward Snowden? Edward Snowden leaking important information about how our government is spying on us. Showing how the government is violating your rights and violating the Constitution. Releases the information. That's called a whistleblower. Where were you in defense of the whistleblower? Where were you in defense of Chelsea Manning? Why aren't you in defense of WikiLeaks? These are the same people who rail against WikiLeaks for doing the DNC leaks. Now, regardless of WikiLeaks' motivations in doing the DNC leaks, we know that the DNC leaks are newsworthy. We know that's something that the American people should see, and we know it's real. Now we know there was rigging that went on. Now we know the disgusting way the sausage is made. So that, of course we should have seen that. That's what a real news organization is supposed to do. Hey, I'm going to expose powerful people. That's what WikiLeaks did. What's CNN's take on fucking WikiLeaks? No, see, the whole free press thing only applies to when he comes after you guys. When it's somebody who's in the club. This is why it's so disgusting. Did any of these people say a goddamn word when there was effective censorship of all of new media on YouTube? Remember the darkest days of adpocalypse when shows like mine and David Pakman got zero funding. Overnight, all of our ad money had collapsed because of a fucking panic, and they wanted to treat us like literal neo-Nazi sites. And so they said, that's it, we're blacklisting all these different new media outlets. That is effective censorship. That's what that is. What you're basically doing is saying we're going to put these people out of business. Did CNN step up and say, hey, look, we don't even agree with the people who are online, but you know what? That's what this is. This is effective censorship of outlets that have different independent thoughts. They didn't do it. They didn't say a goddamn word. So you can go down the list of all the ways in which they don't care about free speech, they don't care about a free press, when it doesn't affect them directly. But when it's just a fucking tweet from Donald Trump, all of a sudden, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This isn't right. I mean, obviously in this country we're supposed to have a free press, and the president is doing the opposite of that at the moment. Spare me your goddamn crocodile tears. Be consistent. God damn it, man, be consistent.